Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dee. A pleasure to be with everybody today. Before we start, let me explain why creating a Service Victoria account is so important. Creating a Service Victoria account allows Victorians to interact with over 130 different government services in one place. You only need to create a Service Victoria account once. You can also then store government issued cards and digital credentials in the My Wallet section of your Service Victoria app for added convenience. As of July 2023, some of these digital cards include the Seniors Card, as obviously Dee's mentioned, and the Senior Business Discount Card. We also have the Victorian Fishing Licence, the recently launched Working with Children check, and also Victorian Veterans Cards also as well. In addition, you may have seen on the news recently that we're working very closely with VicRoads in trialling a digital driver licence in Ballarat over the next 12 months before a statewide rollout. While many people are familiar with using the Service Victoria app during the COVID-19 pandemic, users at that point in time were not required to create a Service Victoria account because it was anonymous check-ins essentially. It was more around just verifying that you had checked into those locations. So before a person can even start adding a digital seniors card to the Service Victoria app on their smartphone, they're required to have three things. Number one, their seniors card or seniors business discount card number, which is attached to their account. They can find that on their physical plastic card or the email they were sent when their card was approved. Step number two, the Service Victoria app on their smartphone, easily downloadable depending on the operating system that you actually have via the Google Play Store or the iOS Apple App Store. You will also need to make sure that you have the most up-to-date version of the app on your smartphone also as well. And as previously mentioned, step number three, a Service Victoria account. If a senior Victorian visits you for support and doesn't already have a Service Victoria account, we can provide information later on, but you can also help them create one in the Service Victoria app or via the website, which is www.service.vic.gov.au/account. It's free. It takes less than 5 minutes, as we will cover now. So without further ado, what I will do is I will provide information on setting up a Service Victoria account. You will see my screen, which has been shared. So we'll walk through how to create that. And you can do that also at the Service Victoria website. But today I'll be showing you how to create one using a smartphone device. Essentially the same process, but we're just going to use the smartphone as the channel of choice for setting up the account. So you'll see here we have a recording of customers who want to open up the Service Victoria app on the smartphone. So I'll just press play. The customer will then, as you see, select the Service Victoria app icon. Very quick movement there. You will see here. And then they are then greeted with the Service Victoria homepage, which provides an overview of the various different services that we provide. So you'll see here in the bottom right-hand corner, masked out a little bit, but essentially on the bottom navigation, there is a customer login screen. This is indicated by the person icon. So the customer would then tap login, and they are then greeted with the login screen. If customers don't actually have a Service Victoria account created, you will see here a sign up link that the customer will tap. And they are then greeted with a sign up screen. The customers will be required to provide their given name, their family name, their email address, and also to create a password. You will see here some instructional copies saying that passwords must be at least 8 characters long, and they must include 1 lowercase character and 1 uppercase character also as well. If the phone provides a suggested strong password, you can simply delete your password and add a password of your choice. It's important to note that each person will need their own login. If a couple, say for example, uses a shared email, they will be required to create a new email for one of them to use on the Service Victoria app, as you can only sync one digital card with each Service Victoria account. The reason for that being is some of the digital credentials, digital cards, memberships that we have, they do need to be attached to an account because there are sensitivities around the personal identifiable information that is attached to the customer, and we do need an account to verify that people are who they say they are. So if the person already has a Service Victoria account, apologies, I'll just go through this step here of creating an account. We'll see here the customer enters in their given name, their family name, and also their email address. Entering in the password. They then tap next. What Service Victoria will do then is we will provide a unique security code, which will be attached to that customer's email address that they have provided. And you will see here the message has come through, and there is the security code there, only available to that particular customer's email address, 936319, uniquely generated each time. Customer will then enter in that 6-digit security code. And then once the customer has essentially created their account, they will be asked to create their own unique Service Victoria 6-digit code also as well. That is to protect customers' information at the mobile application level. So that's whatever you choose. We do advise that have quite a random selection of numbers for that as well. So we'll just show that process. Customers are then essentially logged into their Service Victoria account. You will see here a screen which essentially just provides information on what account information can be amended, account settings, setting up payment methods not applicable to the seniors card, transactions, also information about Service Victoria, and also a logout capability as well. So essentially the customer is actually logged in. Excuse me. And as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, you do actually see where it's gone from login to account. So that customer has their account created. There is also an icon in the middle of the bottom navigation, which is My Wallet. And there is also the home section, which you saw previously, which has a list of all of the various different services that Service Victoria provide. Just going to go through the scenario of if somebody forgets their password also as well. Just go through this process. This is really just going through the additional step of logging in again, but we will go through the forgotten password step. Wait for that to load. So essentially the customer taps on forgotten password. They will then put in their email address. Very similar process to when creating an account, but at this juncture, customers only need to provide their email address. Again, you will see that we want to verify that it is the person's email address. So again, we will send a unique 6-digit security code. As you can see, a unique generated code, which is 094809 in this particular instance. The customer will enter that unique 6-digit code into the app. They will then be asked to create a password. Again, the same prerequisites for creating a password are required. It must be at least 8 characters long, 1 lowercase character, and uppercase. The customer will then again create their 6-digit PIN, and they are essentially logged back into the Service Victoria app. Essentially, that's gone through the process of creating an account and also forgotten password and logging in. You can also find, as mentioned, information will be shared with everybody on this webinar, but you can set up a Service Victoria account online at www.service.vic.gov.au and follow the same steps also as well. So I hope that provides an overview of how customers can create an account, how they can retrieve or create a new password and also log into the Service Victoria app, and also how they can access it from the relevant app stores. So back over to you, Dee.